Oh, we're just jumping right in. Okay. We got a whole panel of experts here. Yujin Mikotoba, lecturer in forensic medicine at the Imperial Yume University in Tokyo, Japan. Wow, she seems to be in love with him. What's going on there? The young lady beside you is Maria Gori. Okay, hold on. Hot theory. Hot theory. Who's ready for a hot theory? How old is Maria Gori? Court record. Hold on. This might not be as hot of a theory. How old is she? Never mind. She's 19. Never mind. Not that hot of a theory. All right, let's just continue. Okay. She clearly is interested in him, though. That's kind of weird. Scotland Yard is practicing coroner, the daughter of Dr. Scythe, I understand. Afraid I can't tell you why she's here. She just appeared. You summon this strange Japanese man as a witness to that autopsy, but you don't summon Mama. That makes no sense. She was there too. That knife is awfully close to hitting him in the eyeball. The revelations about Scythe that came to light some days ago defiled the reputation of the entire judiciary. She was deemed unfit to appear as a witness. The Ministry of Justice's decision on that is final. Final, as in, like, 2 more chapters, or as in final? We wouldn't want any more perjury to be committed, would we? Not in this series. No, never. I remember you, Dr. Mikotoba. But I certainly never expected to be meeting you under these circumstances. I thought we'd meet over a game of shuffleboard. I studied under Dr. Wilson at St. Sinners. So you were present at the autopsy of my brother, Lord Clint Van Zeeks? I was, yes. I assisted Dr. Wilson with the entire procedure. Mama is far more skilled than any Japanese man. Well, Dr. Wilson asked me to be his primary assistant on that occasion. And this autopsy report was actually penned by you, I believe? Yes. I noted all of the doctor's findings, and when we were done, he read through the document and signed it. Poor Mama. As secondary assistant, she wouldn't have had such a good view of all the innards. Do you remember Inspector Gregson? Of course. If it wasn't for his insistence, Lord Van Zeek's autopsy would never have happened. But he was absolutely convinced that it would reveal decisive evidence against Genshin, you see. Impactful evidence, as it were. So Lord Strongheart had to entreat the nobility to allow it to take place. Correct me if I'm wrong, my lord. It was as a result of that autopsy that a mass murderer was apprehended and justice was done, and also I became rich and successful. But Gregson admitted it before he was killed. He admitted that the results of the autopsy were fabricated. You were there at the time. You must testify. Very well, then. You will give your formal testimony now. But before you begin, a word of warning from our sponsors. This trial is sponsored by Crypto.com, regrettably. But they seem to be sponsoring everything these days. Now back to the trial. You will state truthfully and accurately what you saw and what you heard at the time. I wouldn't dream of doing otherwise, my lord. The moment your testimony verges on supposition, I will expel you from my courtroom. Personally. Remember that. Witness testimony. From my own observations, I couldn't say there was any indication of the autopsy results having been fabricated. Death resulted from a wound made by a Western-style sword transfixing the heart. That I found a little strange. There were no other signs of internal injury. Nothing questionable at all. It was just that beautiful but dangerous piece of evidence removed from the man's stomach. Presumed to have been swallowed by the victim as a way of posthumously identifying his assailant. Ha 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 ha. Look at this guy's laughing movements. I feel like he's trying a little too hard here. The only fabrication here, Asogi, has come from you. You claim the inspector confessed just before his death, but that is the fabrication. There was nothing questionable about the investigation of Lord Clint Van Zeeks' death. And with me standing up, you know it's got to be true. If I may, my lord. There was most certainly something questionable about it, and the whole truth does elude us, I feel. I beg your pardon. Well, you're obviously aware of the facts of the case. All 4 of the professor's previous victims died when an enormous beast was set upon them that ripped out their throats. Horrifying crimes. But curiously, the killer's last victim, Lord Clint Van Zeeks, suffered a different fate. He was stabbed through the heart with a sword. That's enough. I believe I warned you about this logic and facts stuff, witness. Not allowed in my courtroom. What? I have the right to cross-examine every witness after testimony. And I fully intend to exercise that right. I'm afraid that even the presiding judge has no authority to contravene the letter of the law. As I'm sure every member of the judiciary present in the gallery would agree. That's right, just keep appealing to the crowd. The moment your argument strays from the established facts, I will not hesitate to bring the cross-examination to an end. That sounds like a save. Yes, my lord. You couldn't say there was any indication either, could you? No, true, I couldn't. I was at Dr. Wilson's side as he performed the procedure, recording what he did. But at times, of course, he instructed me to fetch implements and such like. Whilst I was away from the operating table, obviously I could have missed something. And at those times, what was the secondary assistant doing? Following this Japanese man's orders to adjust the lighting or pass him implements. That doesn't mean Mama wasn't a vital part of the team. Quite yes. So would you kindly refrain from staring at my cheek like that? Dakota, but think, was there nothing at all that seemed out of place to you? As a matter of fact, there was. Death resulted from a wound made by a Western-style sword, transfixing the heart. That I found a little strange. Do you mean to say that you think Lord Van Zieks may not in fact have been one of the Professor's victims? There is no basis on which to doubt the findings of the investigations carried out at the time. Genshin Asogi confessed to all of his crimes. He admitted to having taken the lives of all 5 members of the aristocracy. Yet the beast that was used to carry out the killings was never identified. No evidence was found to suggest that Genshin had ever kept a dog. A true hound of hell. ... I see our ellipses are back for another stream. There were no other signs of internal injury. Nothing questionable at all. You weren't actually present at the autopsy yourself, were you, Gory? I feel like it was a missed opportunity here. Her name is Maria Gory, is it not? Maria Gory. Should have been Allie. Should have been Allie. I feel like it would have been a better pun. Missed opportunity. At Capcom, get me on your writing staff, please. I just wonder how useful your testimony can be in that case, really. I mean, it would be different if your mother, Dr. Scythe, were in the stand, but I've read all the paperwork about the case, and Mom has told me the story countless times. The statement I just made is exactly what's written in the autopsy. I did confirm that myself at the time. It's true. Besides the stab wound, there were no other signs of internal trauma. Mama told me all about it. Oh? She said there was nothing of note internally. But they did find an amazing piece of evidence. Something unbelievable. What was it? It was ellipses. It was sparkly and round with a hole, as if it might slip over a finger, perhaps. It was a ring belonging to Genshin Asogi. My father's ring was inside the victim's stomach. Well, that's unfortunate. At the time, Genshin wore a large ring on the digitus quartus. You ever just drop that casually in conversation? Instead of saying ring finger? Yeah, I wear a ring on my digitus quartus. He is a medical man? Okay, but still. But still. My father's possessions were sent to our family home in Japan after his death, but the ring wasn't among them. Obviously not. It was a key piece of evidence. It remains under lock and key in the stores at Scotland Yard to this day. After the autopsy, Genshin was summoned by the police to check for the presence of his ring. It wasn't on his hand, of course. Moreover, there were deep abrasions on his finger where it had been pulled off. They arrested the man there and then, right before my eyes. How could they? I brought the ring with me today. Good gracious. Yes, that's it. That was found in the victim's stomach? I'm afraid so. You hesitated there. It's just that thinking back now, I didn't actually witness the moment it was extracted from the victim's body. Oh my. At that precise moment, Wilson had asked me to fetch him a new scalpel. Amazing how that comes to mind right now, but never crossed your mind 10 years ago. The removal of historic evidence from the stores requires my consent, does it not? Talk to the bird. However it came to be here, the court cannot deny that it is crucial evidence for today's proceedings. It's not the sort of ring normally seen in Japan. They almost look like claws protecting that jewel. We must examine it very carefully. Every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. These fat claws are doing a good job of protecting the equally fat gemstone in the middle of this fat ring. Yes, if you were clumsy, you could give yourself a rather nasty cut on them. Now my finger's bleeding. Now, speaking of fingers bleeding, I don't know what it is lately, but I have been paper cutting the same finger over and over again. I have like 4 paper cuts on the same finger. So I must be that level of clumsy. Like, you'd think after the first or second or maybe even the third paper cut, you'd catch on and say like, hey, there's something going on here. But nope. It's not my digitus quartus. I don't even know what the Latin would be for it. It's my second finger. Somebody Google that. Which digitus is that? Is it digitus secundus? Digitus indixus. There you go. My digitus indixus has paper cuts all over it. A sticky mochi bun of about that size would go down much better. Is there a clue on here somewhere else? Oh, you know what? It's probably not going to be... There won't be a clue until a certain point in the case. They always do this. This is what I'm nervous about. I bet we're going to be able to, like, open this up at some point and reveal. Yeah, not now. Okay. That doesn't seem to be helping us. That's a lie. My father was no killer. Oh, we're on that side now? I thought Kazuma was quite convinced. You twisted the truth to suit your purposes. Your hatred of me doesn't change the facts that were established 10 years ago. My brother Clint had closed in on the professor. In the end, he exposed the man and put a stop to his lethal rampage. In the way only a man of my brother's caliber could. That's everything, is it? So, I'm guessing we need to present the ring. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. I wonder if we do present this, because we present the ring as well. The claws clasping the gem look sharp enough to cause a very nasty scratch. I'm going to present this. I was wrong. There is no contradiction here. Oh, here we go. No other signs of internal injury. There we go. That's the statement. That awful feeling when the music continues. The court has heard that the ring was extracted from the victim's stomach. Lord of the Rings. But you didn't actually see it being removed. That's right. As I said in my testimony before, at that moment, I was busy doing something else so that we could have a video game to play. You cannot confirm or deny whether this ring in fact really came from the victim's stomach. The ring was never in the victim's stomach to begin with. Dr. Wilson fabricated that detail about the autopsy. What are you saying? Dr. Wilson was in possession of the ring in advance, after it was somehow stolen from a Sogi. And he produced it during the procedure, pretending to have found it there and then in the victim's stomach. What possible evidence do you have to support such a rash claim? This. Oh, the game's playing for me. I like that. I would have presented that anyway. That's the autopsy report. Other than the ring, nothing unusual was noted internally, so I'm not sure how you intend to prove your point. You've already done it for me, my lord. The lack of internal injury says it all. What? To swallow a ring of this size would require considerable effort and determination. And in addition to its size, there are the sharp claws around the gemstone to contend with. My brother was a determined man, and on the brink of death even more so, I'm sure. He would have stopped at nothing to ensure that evil killer was brought to justice. But if he really had swallowed that enormous ring, it's inconceivable that no traces of its passage down his throat would have remained as internal trauma. No. And there you've arrived at the sticking point. That's precisely why I had my doubts about the findings myself 10 years ago. Then why didn't you say something? Because that's not how video games work. I still remember the conversation I had with Wilson in the lab that day. Look at this. Now, this is a very curious thing to find in a man's stomach, wouldn't you say? But Isn't that rather peculiar? Surely you'd expect to see damage to the throat and esophagus. I have vastly more experience than you. So I was right. Wilson deliberately fabricated the results of the autopsy to implicate my father. I'm disappointed, counsel. That argument is nothing more than speculation. What? Wilson was Britain's leading authority on forensic science and autopsy work. And my right-hand man. There is no scientific basis on which to doubt the man's expert opinion. Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbont. Damage to the mucous membranes of the throat is easily identified even in living subjects. Using a device called an endoscope, recently demonstrated in practical use in France. I want one. The government can pay. I don't think so. And Dr. Gory. Kornheiser is Scholmes. Yes, exactly. Rest assured that your removal of evidence from the stores without permission will not go unpunished. Something tells me that you don't want to mess with Gory, actually, right now. Honestly, Strongheart, I think she could kill you. She has a cleaver and a knife. We open up the dead to find the truth. I beg your pardon. But Mama, she chose to stitch her corpses up with all her secrets inside. That's wrong. A toast to you. Oh, we skipped the toast. What about the ring? I've just remembered something. An earlier incident. The one I recounted to you before, about a memory I have. Of Genshin Asogi saving my life. What? My father saved your life? It was 10 years ago on a foggy night. Genshin and I were walking down some back streets at a late hour. All of a sudden... Don't make a peep. You're coming with us. Oh yeah, this is the part where they were going to get shot, right? Yes. Bang. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He'd shielded me. It was on the ring finger of his left hand that he used to wear that ring? Are you saying I've always believed those thugs were after me, but now I'm starting to question if perhaps I wasn't the intended target after all? Wait, but... Genshin was arrested 2 days after that attack, and in that short interval, the decisive evidence needed to indict him was miraculously found. The ring was stolen from him? Lord of the Rings? You pathetic coward. You expect me to believe that you weren't involved? What do you mean by that? It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who took it. You stole my father's ring. Kazuma, use your head. Open your eyes. Let it go and move on. Heh, heh, heh. Let us imagine that there was some misconduct during the autopsy. If that were the case, why would Asogi not have disputed the findings in his trial? In the closed court hearing 10 years ago, the defendant never once denied the claims against him. If Asogi did nothing to oppose the charges against him, then that would surely mean there was no fabricated evidence. Your twisted loyalty and clouded judgment are hampering your ability for logical thought. Well, I guess we lose. Maybe I should pull the ears. Ooh, that was a very strong sound. Thank you, Ryunosuke. If it wasn't for your frank words just now, this trial may very well have ended prematurely. What's this latest absurdity? My lord, your reasoning is perfectly sound, but for one giant hole. You claim my father's silence was due to the fact that there was no fabricated evidence, but there's another possible explanation. You've overlooked the possibility that he had a reason for maintaining that silence. Silence that would lead him to being convicted and sent to his death. If the autopsy results were an invention, there's no conceivable reason why the man wouldn't have protested. Oh, those results were an invention. There's no question of that. Or are you forgetting that two people with a connection to that autopsy have been assassinated? If I force the grievances I feel from my mind, I see you in a very different light. I think perhaps it's you who's been living in delusion these 10 years. What proof do you have that could possibly explain Asogi's silence in court? Is this the Asogi papers now? I'm going with this. I was wrong. Kazuma-sama's father knew that the evidence being used to convict him was fabricated. Why would he have said nothing in his trial? Is it time to do this? No? Is it the sword? All right. 0 for 2. I don't have anything else that's Genshin Asogi specific. It's not going to be any of this stuff. It's true that Genshin Asogi's silence during his trial resulted in his conviction, but that didn't actually lead to his execution. On the contrary, it led to his escape. An escape that was only possible by 3 strikes in the court system, allowing me to be wrong twice first. I find it hard to believe my father would have negotiated in that way. The defense is correct. A fake execution, falsification of a death certificate, and a jailbreak inside a coffin. He must have had help. There were suggestions of some sort of negotiation between Asogi and the British government. In exchange for his silence in court, he was given an assurance that he would be broken out of prison. First fabricated evidence, now a jailbreak conspiracy. It's all linked. New witnesses to the stand. Governor Caden? I won't allow this trial to turn into a farce. To summon the governor of the prison after all these years. Oh, it wouldn't be any trouble, my lord. What? My dear friend may appear a little rattle-pated. Rattle-pated. That's a word, at times. But I can assure you he is extremely thorough. Sholmes did that? You promised we would stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth. Very well. Make no mistake, I too would like nothing more than to lay this business to rest once and for all. Because I'm guilty. Your other persona, if you don't mind. If it turns out that you were involved in the plot to break Asogi out of your prison, then of course, the consequences will be very serious. You have a critical role to play in the public safety of our country, a great responsibility to shoulder. Roll a d20. The significance of your testimony in court cannot be understated. Therefore, think carefully before you speak. And Prosecutor Asogi, if you threaten the witness again, you will be held in contempt of court. Witness testimony. Ooh, okay. It was the day the Japanese jock was found guilty. The directive came from the prosecutor's office. I assigned the convict to the chief order vigil here and put the plan into action behind the scenes. I was responsible for Asogi right up until the night of his execution, but I knew nothing of any plot. Whatever that is, if there were some negotiations between the convict and the prosecutor's office. What is Danae Ken? I don't know. Is it I don't know? I don't know. That's what I'm going to go with. All right. I don't know. All I did was carry Ocarina of Time, my duty, for Her Majesty's Great British Empire. Directive from the prosecutor's office. Are you saying that was the jailbreak plot? That's right. I'm reading in my head anyway. I'm reading Caden's lines in the same voice as Rab from Dragon Quest XI. Like I'm waiting for him to drop a Lottie here or something. Who authorized the plan? I deny ken that. But if the jailbreak plan originated from the prosecutor's office, then one thing is very clear. There were clandestine dealings going on between Asogi and that office. That jailbreak was promised in exchange for Asogi admitting to crimes he didn't commit. I fail to see how these witnesses have any more pertinent information here. I mean, of course I do. What a jawbone. That's, yeah. It's got like a Jay Leno thing going on there. All I did was carry Ocarina of Time my duty. I believe his death was the last part of the plan. Whoa. You seem to have taken that rather personally. Uwaga. I was betrayed by my superiors in the name of my country. Thinking back now, I really can't imagine that the shooting of Asogi in the cemetery was ever part of the plan. Make the man admit to crimes he didn't commit with the promise of a jailbreak, only to kill him in the end. If the intention was always to betray him, why would there be any need for all the chicaneries of an escape? If whoever negotiated with Asogi never intended to keep his or her end of the bargain, it would have been far simpler just to let the man be executed in prison as dictated by his sentence. It all happened in that Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, that is Barclay. Oh, is this a reference for... This whole game is a reference for Sirius Black has escaped from Azkaban in prison? That's like the one thing I know about Harry Potter, by the way. Everything I know about Harry Potter, I know from the ABC Family trailers. Suppose nobody knows what really went on in the execution room now. It's an unsettling mystery, certainly. Truth be told, there is a wee matter that's never quite made sense to me. If you believe there was some kind of negotiation behind the jailbreak between Asogi and a body at the top, it doesn't add up, does it? Amending your testimony. Strongheart, it's not looking good right now. The Japanese fellow did not have anything to bargain with. I don't think that's true. All right, it's time to play guess which evidence they want me to press here. Nothing to bargain with, but we know he had something to bargain with because the Asogi papers mention it. The only weapon I have left. We win. There was nothing to stop the British breaking their word and executing him behind closed doors anyway. No man would stake his life on a gentleman's agreement like that. Which means that Asogi must have had a trump card. Something that guaranteed he wouldn't be betrayed. Some kind of red text weapon. Havers. I think this guy's just making up words now. The Asogi Papers, the name given to the last will and testament of Genshin Asogi. Asogi was hiding his will in his cell at Barclay. Chief Warder Vigil caught him with it one day. Oh, okay. He chose violence. I was trying to pinpoint if is he Scottish or Irish. I kind of thought he was one or the other. Did they ever explicitly say? Maybe they did say earlier and I wasn't paying attention. When Vigil caught sight of that will through the bars of the convict's cell, Asogi pleaded with the warder. Scottish? Gotcha. The document mysteriously disappeared. Well, yes, all the prison warders searched through the belongings in his cell, but that will was just nowhere to be found. Governor Caden, I believe you ordered your prison staff to find it at all costs. Would I be right in saying that you knew? You knew that the Asogi Papers had the potential to make great waves somehow? We all searched the place from top to bottom. Not quite, my lord. You see, there's an undeniable inconsistency here. Asogi described this document as the only weapon he had left, and yet this will contains nothing of significance at all. Nothing that would have given the convict any leverage. The last will and testament stored at Barclay Prison all these years is actually a fake? What went on at Barclay Prison was far from above board. Well, I've had enough of this BS. A waste of time. If the will was fake, where is the real document? Barclay Prison is hiding something. That jailbreak was masterminded by somebody in the prosecutor's office. Man, Strongheart's looking constipated. What did you say? We should hear more from the Chief Warder. The trial must go on. A vocal few here are utterly blind to the truth. As the warder responsible for condemned convicts, I attended to Mr. Asogi and kept watch over his cell. The night after he was found guilty in court, he was doing something with that will in his cell. We turned the cell inside out looking for it after the execution, but to no avail. I only found Ocarina of Time about the Asogi papers when a directive came telling me to impound them. The document was in the folds of the fellow's robe that was left in his cell. A kimono, I think it's called. Didn't we have proof that he had no clothes in his cell? That's a lie. Yeah, Egamon Vigil. Yeah. Well, now you did it. We had something that said that he knew he didn't have any clothes in his cell, but maybe not. The letters look like a squirming mass of jet black earthworms to me. He's going to say that he saw it in English or something instead. It was Scarlet. It was Scarlet. The document was written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken. You are wrong. I was wrong. Well, there goes that. Which document are we talking about? Oh, that's all it took. Strongheart's very upset. Is something wrong, Strongheart? My name changed from game 1 to game 2. I apologize. Continue. Wonder if he was actually writing in blood. I feel like this is... Oh, is this time for the ring? Now, is it examining time? No. Can't really zoom in on this. I mean, it very clearly is not written in red. But I'm assuming that we need to connect it to blood somehow. I'm going with the ring. I'm wrong. I'm going with the sword. I'm wrong again. I wonder if I have to press more. Maybe I'm not done pressing. All right, I guess we're going to press the other statements. I feel like it's that statement, but maybe we need to get presented something first. Wow, he's unable to offer an explanation. I wonder if it really was Genshin Asogi's last will and testament. Okay, it's got to be the statement about the red. I mean, I feel like, how is it not the document itself, which is clearly not in red ink? Oh, is it going to be on the notice board, maybe? I don't know. None of this stuff matters. This is all old news. How is it not the Asogi papers themselves? Well, I guess we lose. We've wasted enough time. I win. Strong heart wins. That's how it goes. The people at the top have all the power. Barrack Van Zeeks is guilty. Court is adjourned. We did it. Roll the credits. See, yeah, it doesn't remember that I pressed it. So the save load system stinks. We're going back to here. The document was written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Ha, take that. Have a look at this unrelated report. That's my brother's autopsy report. Why would you ever pick that? There's something in here that's bothered me since I first read it. Scarlet-colored ink stains were noted on the fingers of the victim's right hand. Oh, does it say that? Wait, which report now? This is on this one. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document and corresponding ink was found. Oh, well, that's a problem. So it does. Scarlet ink? Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, I freely admit, but I would hazard a guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips. Your wit is not appreciated. What is your point, counsel? Whatever Van Zeeks was writing in that unusually colored ink, it must have been directly before his death. Because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand. What? Something troubled me at the time. At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. No document penned in the color of the ink was ever found. The same document that Clint Van Zeeks was writing moments before his death. If Vigil's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that, yes. When you spotted Asogi with the document in his cell, his precise words were as follows. A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. If the conversation did go as Mr. Vigil says, then what we now know completely changes the meaning of what Asogi said. Vigil did indeed see the convict with a will, but it wasn't his. It was Clint Van Zeeks. What? This is ridiculous. That would mean that he had chosen to die. Impossible. That is utterly out of the question. Clint was pursuing the professor. It consumed him day and night. Whatever happened, he would never have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. He wouldn't rest until he had inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. The idea that he would willingly accept his own death, it's obscene. And yet we can be sure that he was writing his will moments before his death. Asogi came to be in possession of that document. So what could the will possibly have contained? Something that couldn't be made public under any circumstances whatsoever. Armed with that document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life. It couldn't be. I've heard more than enough. A reason why Lord Clint Van Zieks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death. Information so secret, people in the judiciary would be willing to negotiate the jailbreak of a condemned killer. The only explanation that fits those facts is an unthinkable truth that turns everything on its head. Anti-gravity time bomb. Ten years ago, in its final moments, Clint Van Zieks left behind a will. A will that Genshin Asogi was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details in the will were related to the Professor case. What are you getting at, man? As soon as these words come out of my mouth, I'll probably be killed. I believe that the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zieks was in fact... a report, an accusation, or a confession. That would turn things upside down. Well, this is the fake one, right? We don't have the real one, so we just have to guess. But if it was a confession, that would certainly change things, wouldn't it? I believe that what Lord Clint Van Zieks actually penned that day was a confession regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor and his true identity. Enough, Council. What are you saying? Lord Van Zieks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in, but it's the only explanation that fits. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago and became known as the Professor, the man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy, wasn't Genshin Asogi at all. No, you can't be suggesting. The 5th victim lighting somewhere in the school, Lord Clint Van Zieks. Ah! Pandora's box has been opened. My brother. Barrick is a brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize what his older brother really was? The professor made use of an enormous hound as his murder weapon. Tell me, did your brother own a dog? Yes, he did. Balmung. A well-known hunting dog. Well then. All right, case closed. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too, almost as if he were following his master. The jewel-studded collar. Hey, I've heard of that. I think we saw that a little while ago. And it had a B on it for Balmung. How could you? The insignia of the Baskerville family. The Hound of the Baskervilles. We did it. Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow. That pure gold emblem was an heirloom which Clint acquired upon their marriage. The collar you've described was Balmung's. Clint Van Zeeks was the professor. Impossible. My father knew that and was using it to negotiate his way out of the unjust charges brought against him. But at the very last hour, those he'd bargained with betrayed him. You have earned the truth. We did it. Tell me what Clint really was. Cosmo's father did. He made the late Lord Van Zieks meet the same fate. He killed the killer. Well, so you're admitting to it. Wow. Gregson was the one that tried to kill him. Nice casual blackmail. This Strongheart guy seeming like not a great guy. Who would have guessed? The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Bailey. Was it you, Lord Male Strongheart Vortex? That sounds like a confession. Dot, dot, dot. Well, let's call it a day. It was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. In my defense, I'm the best. There is no one left who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go on no further. Can the trial really end now? One last question for Lord Van Zeeks. I find it hard to believe that you didn't have any doubts at all. The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time. It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor. It's unthinkable that my brother could have killed his friend and mentor. I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction is deemed appropriate. That is all. Court is adjourned. My turn. I'm afraid I must insist the trial continues. Oh, 50-50. It must be Lord Van Zeeks. Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time. The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time. When you were recounting the information about your brother and the third victim just now, something you said was inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence we have. And even though that inconsistency arose from words out of the defendant's mouth, we have a duty here to pursue an explanation. What are you playing at? I fail to see the defense's intention here, but clearly the court cannot ignore this new development. What evidence is inconsistent with the defendant's words? The list of people who died? Maybe? Do we have a list of people who died somewhere? An old photographic print displayed rather prominently in Gregson's office. The person on the left is Clint. Maybe it's that one. Well, I died. Wait, my lord. No more waiting. You're not meant to finish this video game. This video game must go on forever. I just want a break, man. It's been like 2 hours. Where's my to be continued? I don't know what to present. Mistake of my life. I don't know. These questions are too open-ended. Tried Strongheart instead. Neither Clint Van Zeeks nor Genshin Asogi still walk this earth. The ring and the 3-page Last Will and Testament penned in black ink. Oh, penned in black ink. Is that interesting? Among the statements made just a few minutes ago, something you said was inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence we have. Three-paged Last Will and Testament. So is the Last Will and Testament longer than 3 pages? This here is the will left behind by Asogi. The 2-page will. Yet moments ago, your precise words were 3-page will. Could it be that originally there was a 3rd page? There was a 3rd page. Only the first 2 pages were the actual will, though. If I mind correctly, the 3rd was a message to his lad back in Japan. I have the 3rd page here with me now, conveniently. Didn't bother bringing that up before. Your request is denied. The prosecution agrees. I should point Ocarina of Time, my lord. I can't read it because it's in Japanese. I'd be happy to translate the words into English for the court. Cosmo, the truth is shrouded in darkness, a darkness only our clan's great sword can pierce. Mighty Karuma, twist thy head and watch them fall, all thy mortal foes. Wow. The sword had a secret. Who would have guessed? I believe it's time to examine the evidence. I can't find anything out of place. Maybe I should try it. Twist the butt of the hilt. Whoa! Who would have guessed? Oh! I penned this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. Clint Van Zeeks. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is unbelievable. You appear to be in something of a hurry to wrap things up. I wonder why. What about Gregson and Wilson? They were no criminals. You used them to achieve your ends, and then you had them killed. My last chance. The final chapter. Present evidence. It's high time that you realize something, my lord. This gentleman has an uncanny habit of producing evidence at the final hour. Present whatever you think you have that can settle this decade-old enigma. What exactly is this evidence that the defense claims to be so decisive? I have it right here. Impossible. Everything that's happened comes back to this will. This document is the key that will unlock the entire mystery. Ooh, look at his face. He's breaking down. Where did you find that? Inside Karuma. The ultimate weapon Genshin Impact Asogi obtained has lain undisturbed in the hilt of the sword all these years, waiting for the right time to emerge and reveal the truth. The signature and seal certainly look official. My God, it's true. It's my brother's handwriting. I forbid the contents of that document from being read out. Do you hear me? I strictly forbid it. You can't do that. That document could literally destroy the meaning of justice in this country. I demand that you hand it to me at once. Why? What are you trying to hide? Could it be that you already know what's written on this page? What are you implying? Court is adjourned with immediate effect. Clear the courtroom. Do that, my lord, and you'll suffer a fatal blow as Lord Chief Justice. I beg your pardon? Forcibly ending a trial without good reason? And not any trial, a closed trial by order of Her Majesty the Queen? To defy the monarch's will is treason. Urgh. Look at him go. He's blowing up, dude. Read it out. It would rather appear as though proceedings aren't going to go quite as you'd hoped. No, for God's sake. No. I think we got him. I think we got him. The hour is 11 p.m. and I sit at my writing desk in my office. My good friend Asogi stands at my shoulder. He has expressed his intent to invoke the dying ritual of the duel that I may depart this world with honor. An honor of which I am utterly undeserving. The Japanese are a truly merciful people. I, Clint Van Zieks, Lord of the Manor of the Van Zieks Estate, hereby confess to the following. I am the killer who has come to be known in society as the Professor, guilty of 4 counts of murder. I will not here discourse the corruption rife among the aristocracy, which is to me, as one of them, so apparent. However, 6 months ago, I took the life of a member of the House of Lords at the heart of the depravity. A demon who habitually sacrificed the common man to further his own interests, abusing his position of power. The law is impotent against such vile avarice. Only a fellow demon can rid society of this menace. That demon was my quarry, upon whom I willingly set my great hound. But though I am a hunter of some experience, I am a poor felon, it seems. This is quite a document. My guilt was at once recognized by another, and I became subject to his extortion. He held over me the threat of exposing my wicked crime to my beloved wife and brother. Under that threat, I have done this man's bidding for months now, killing those he demanded I kill. As I watched my former mentor perish before my eyes in the jaws of the hound I commanded, I realized that I had lost the last shred of decency within me, sunk to the level of a wild beast. There is no path back to the light. Be it I or my dear friend Asogi who dies this night, I am eternally damned. To my extortioner, male Strongheart, may you feel the jaws of the beast at your throat every time you swallow. Well, that's pretty direct. I think that might have just done it. Clint Van Zieks was the murderer, but somebody was directing him and naming his victims. Male Strongheart Vortex. All you were trying to do was save yourself. Judge Jigoku. Enoch Drebber. Couldn't they have shot Drebber instead? They're not very smart. F. Never to remove the professor's mask and never to speak of the events of that night. Well, it seems we've learned quite a lot. ... That's what I have to say, too. After all that. How do you sleep at night? Yeah, clearly the solution was to just murder everyone. Here it comes. Oh, he did that once before already. I thought we were going to get a real breakdown. Bravo. You fraud. It really is exactly as you both said. I have occupied the darker recesses of London's underworld, and how did you put it? Done nothing? I really have done nothing, which means I can be indicted for nothing. It's the game that never ends. Consider the following. If this catalog of horrifying revelations were to become common knowledge among the 6 million inhabitants of London, what might happen? They would think that you suck. That's what would happen. This guy's going to monologue for 30 minutes, isn't he? This is why he's late for meetings. That's right. Strong heart, strong heart, strong heart. This is the will of the British judiciary. Still, he manages to evade justice. I just don't know what we can do. I think it's time for the ears. Use evidence. What evidence is there to use at this stage in the trial? If there was ever a time for using this particular item we have among the evidence, it's now. Wow, listen to this song. This is a banger. It's time to use the ears. Let me guess, he's already like broadcasting this to Britain or something? Ow, 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 ow. I'm over here. He's hologrammed? What in the 1900s is going on here? This is absurd. What is the meaning of this? This is a closed chord. What the? What on earth is? Wow, they invented the hologram. They never taught me that in history class. Holmes is really cool. Are we going to do one more logic deduction? One final dance? Leave my courtroom at once. Is this the early British judicial system equivalent of somebody joining your Zoom meeting that doesn't work for your company? On the other hand, Lord Strongheart appeared to have a very poor grasp of the situation. Allow me to reiterate, I am not here. Where are you? I'm enjoying the air in a rather splendid garden. A garden at Buckingham Palace. Tea with Her Majesty. I decided to show her everything from start to finish. Remote cinematograph. You meddling kids and that dog. Just as I appeared to be standing before you, regaling you with my talk of my latest invention, no doubt you've inferred that the reverse is also true. I was merely... a message from Her Majesty. Can I reverse stream too? Yes. I'm streaming right now. Not only can you see my stream, but I can see yours. And some of you need to put on pants. Actually, you don't. Because, quite frankly, pants are overrated. So just keep on keeping on. Revoked forevermore. Furthermore, he will be prosecuted for crimes against his country in a public trial by jury in the coming days. Oh, that sounds fun. The darkness you fostered to conceal your despicable actions these last 10 years is a thing of the past now. After today, your brand of law and order has no future. Because no longer are you the Lord Chief Justice. In the eyes of the law and of Her Majesty the Queen, you are nothing but a criminal. Man, the modern day relevance of this game. Oof. Adjourned. Ooh. Ooh, ow. Ouch. Corn typewriter for the jury. Oh, that tipped quite far. Oh, wow. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Oh, look out. Look out. That might hurt. Whoa. That was quite excessive. Oh, look at him. He's all beaten up. My brother left this world without a word to me. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zeeks. That isn't the case. How can that be? There is more to his last will and testament. As I confront the prospect of my demise, I feel bitter regret for my younger brother. Barrick, you have always looked up to me, and now you follow in my footsteps to become a prosecutor. It is my fervent wish that my unspeakable deeds should not hinder your advancement. I ask not for understanding, for none could understand my depravity. I ask only for forgiveness. Misogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final two wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Van Zeeks. Let's get some white light on the screen. Just give me the light. There you go. Being the Lord Chief Justice wasn't enough. Short of becoming Her Majesty's Attorney General, I could have no real power to effect the changes needed in this country. The judge would appear to have fallen from the bench, as it were. May I suggest we bring back Santa Claus? The final verdict. On behalf of everyone in all of Britain, I give you my heartfelt thanks. Lord Van Zeeks. Such a good guy. I was literally a nobody. A literal who. The truth is, my fortunes have entirely been made by the miraculous people I've met. My best friend, who led me here to Britain in the first place and faked his death. My loyal and ever-patient judicial assistant, Miss Suzato, who is smarter than me. And Dracula. The exceptional master of logic and reasoning who showed me the true art of deduction, Mr. Sholmes. I saved Britain. I did it. This long trial has finally come to an end. Barrick Van Zeeks, not guilty. Load those confetti cannons. Fireworks, please. Now that's what I call a courtroom. We did it. That is all. It really is all over. When you see his smiling face. This guy did more in 1 year of his career than I will ever do in my lifetime. Unbelievable achievement. He saved Britain. You failed to bring down the Reaper. One thing that's still bothering me. The will that Clint Van Zeeks wrote before his duel with my father. Mikotova can shine some light on that. She's with child. The birth is imminent. Don't be daft. We know who Iris's father is. This game's got it all. It's got German folk songs. It's got baby noises. B for Baskerville. Iris Baskerville. Ayame. Oh. What a hashtag shocker. Ding dong. Ding dong. Well, it's the game that never ends. Allow me once again to express my deep gratitude. As soon as I'm free from my employment, I'll leave the capital. Don't be a fool. It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. Oh, here we go. Will I stay or will I go? I was there too. Back to the diver's life. They're gonna give it to Gina. I think we can just tell her because we know. Aww. Daddy Holmes. Home of the world's greatest detective and my home, too. Does that mean I've decided to stay? Now the time has come. Wow. Oh, that's why Susato had to go back. I wanted to talk to you about something too, about how this game doesn't seem to end. I've come to a decision. I will be returning with you to Japan. Nobody asked me about this. If we look back a whole year ago, this is what the attic looked like. There's so many flashbacks. Just roll the credits, please. Flashbacks within flashbacks within flashbacks. Sounds like you made quite a resolution there. Is she going to stay behind? Oh no. It doesn't have to mean farewell if she comes with me. Or we just stay. Maybe we should just stay. Why would you want to leave Susato? Bad choice. I wish I could say it, but I just can't. Come on, man. Step up. Ask the question. Unbelievable. Just tell her you love her. Boo. These defense attorneys, they don't know how to ask the ladies, how to tell them how they feel. Maybe it'll be like, will she get on the ship? Maybe she'll be on the ship. You're really leaving then? Why would I leave? This doesn't make any sense. He just said his whole family's here. This decision sucks. Oh, there's no text sound. Honk.
佐藤さん。
お荷物はすべて船室に運び込みました。旅立ちにふさわしい素晴らしい朝でございますね。
佐藤さん、今まで本当にお世話になりました。 麻生木によろしく伝えてくれますか。
それはご自分の口からお伝えする方が良いかと存じます。
なるほど。
Eh? He's right there.
麻生木、どうして。
親友の旅立ちだ。見送らぬわけがないだろう。
ありがとう。女王陛下の国でお前と大暴れするのを楽しみにしていたけど。
うん。どうやらそいつはまたの機会だな。貴様と再び法廷で向き合う日を楽しみにしている。
あ、でも弁護士同士じゃ向き合うのは無理じゃないかな。
俺は検事になる。しばらくはバンジークス教の下で勉強する。そしていずれは死神に被験する検事になってやるさ。
そうか。
So.
なるほど。一つ頼みがあるのだが。
なんだ。
今しばらくこいつを持っていてくれないか。
カルマ、どうして。
俺は見てしまった。
Man, here's a guy who knows how to confess, okay? Unbelievable. All we had to do was tell Susato how we feel about her. Here he's giving me his sword, okay? This is the romance ending I wanted.
あの日
Forget Susato.
俺の中に住む魔物の姿を。
Gregson's face.
あの刑事と対峙した最後の時、瞬きにも満たぬほんの刹那。俺はあの刑事に対して確かに殺意を抱いていた。人の心に救う魔物、そいつは俺の中にもいたのだ。俺はその事実を永遠にこの胸に刻む。そしてその魔物に見入られた者たちとこれから対峙していくつもりだ。検事として。
それがお前の覚悟ということか。
俺が自らの中に住む魔物を切り伏せるその日まで。これは貴様に託す。受け取ってくれ。
ああ、わかった。確かに預かっておく。
I mean, this return home is so arbitrary.
それでは
Bad end.
僕は僕の道を
The only reason we're returning home is because we got an arbitrary deadline from Mikotoba. Like, we could just go back whenever we wanted. Screw that guy.
なるほど様。これからなるほど様が進まれていく。私がお供してはお邪魔でございましょうか。
Oh!
それは僕だって一緒に来てほしいです。
Oh!
でも佐藤さんは
思った通りだな。
麻生木。
本当に変わらない。お前らしいことだな。
思った通りってまさか。
あの日バンジークス教の裁判が終わった夕、彼女は一人で検事局を訪ねてきたのだ。
え、御言葉教授と話したあの日。
One more flashback for old
なる
time's
ほ
sake.
どと共に日本へ。
はい、勝手なことを言って申し訳ございません。
それを言うためにわざわざ。義理がたいことだな。それであいつはなんと。
あの方は何もおっしゃりません。もしかしたら ご迷惑なのかも。
あいつも義理がたい男だ。言えるはずがないだろう。あいつのそばにいてやってほしい。これは俺からの頼みだ。
はい。
佐藤さん、
いかがでしょうか。なるほど様。
佐藤さんが隣にいればどんな法廷でも怖くありません。これからも僕と一緒に戦ってくれますか。
Yeah. We can take on the world. We did it. We got the girl.
つかものではございますが、よろしくお願いいたします。
僕の方こそ2日っぷりでは負けませんよ。わあ、
どうかされました？
でも佐藤さんの荷物はもう出航の時間です。
あ、それならば心配ございません。スサトの荷物はすでに船に積み込んでございますので。
さすが優秀なホーム女子だな。
Honk. Even the ship's saying wrap this game up.
なるほどくん、そろそろ出航の時間なの。
それでは行くがいい。達者でな。なるほど。
アソギ、剣を抜け。
One last duel?
「いつか僕たちの道が再び交差するとき、お前と琴の葉の刃を交わすことになるだろう。その時を待っている弁護士として。
その言葉を聞きたかった。相棒。
それではまた会おう。
Where did the sun come from? Suddenly the sun.
ああ、必ずな。
ホームズさん、本当にお世話になりました。
ああ、本当にね。お世話をしたものだよ、君。
このご恩は一生忘れません。
忘れられてたまるか。ぜひ思い出してほしいものだな。今度僕が君たちの国にお邪魔した時、実はこいつは意外に知られていない事実。この地球はね、思ったよりも狭いのだよ。
いつかぜひ日本に来てください。
その時はもう全力で歓迎いたしますとも。それなら私も行くの。
そうと決まったらしばしのお別れだね、諸君。
これで僕の物語はおしまいだ。
The end. Honk.
不思議な運命で地球の裏側まで旅をした僕は、一生をかけて旅を続ける僕だけの道を見つけた。この長い旅のどこかできっとまた彼らに出会う日が来る。その時僕は懐かしいあの声を聞くはずだ。
Objection.
さあ、ゲームの始まりだ。
Oh, that too. The game is afoot.
東より訪れた友を乗せた船が水平線の向こうへ遠ざかってゆく。だがホームズの顔は明るかった。時代が流れても友情は変わらないよ、ワトソン。 彼らに会いたくなったらそっと目を閉じればいいのさ。
私はそっと目を閉じる。その時、私は懐かしいあの声を聞くはずだ。
異議あり。
Objection.
また会おうね、なるほどくん。
Wow. What a game. Shu Takumi does it again. Oh, here we go. I've been thoroughly inundated with inquiries about my remote cinematograph since that day. I can't say that word still, but I'm no purveyor of electrical goods, and what of the promised closed court secrecy? An absence from London is in order? Oh, they're going to come see us in Japan. Gave a note to Hurley the other day. It just said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." Aww. Lord Van Zeeks. He would go on to star in such hit games as Castlevania. The boss left a note for me. The boss was trying to protect me. You know. It's okay, he's actually not dead. Bring him out from behind the curtain. Here's Greggy. Oh, it's a good friend, Ouchie. Oh, it's Ray. Hosanaga's there, too. Good to see that our friend Hosanaga hasn't died from all the blood he's been coughing up. Soseki spinoff. Remember me. And I'm glad. I thought she would say no, but we can fix that. That's out of character. Gory's out for blood. Oh no, it's harebrained. Oh. See, the end took so long, the switch wanted to shut off. I will say, well, I'll wait. I'll wait till all the things are done. Two spells for best girl. Where's her spin-off game? Ah, I see he found some friends to occupy his cell. Like how everyone in this game either ended up in prison or moved. That's just the resolution of the game. Is she going to toss us one more time? A great ace attorney. I get it. I understand that reference. There they are. Oh, she brought the cat too. Family. Is there a musical number now? See, this is the thing. After playing iSomnium Files, every game is required to have a musical ending. Otherwise, I'm disappointed. Where's the number? Yeah, oh, this game doesn't end, by the way. It just keeps going. Okay. So thoughts are, I did not believe that they would be able to live up to expectations and connect everything, but wow, they really connected everything. It's definitely an Investigations 1 and 2 sort of situation where like the first game feels really inferior to the second, but that's partially because the first game is building up for the second game, if that makes sense. This feels a little bit more deliberate. I still think Investigations 2 is probably the best individual game, but they did a really good job of connecting everything in this game. It's lengthy, it's wordy. I feel like they probably could have cut down the script by about half and would have got the same points across. But that's fine. Like, I was comparing the case lengths in this game to some of my past VODs from previous games, and these just are insanely longer. I think maybe other than Ace Attorney Investigations 1, the final case in that game maybe matched some of the lengths of this game. You need to finish Investigations 2? Oh yeah. You need to finish that game. That game's amazing. Cut out all the ... dots and save a few hours. Yeah. No, honestly, what Ace Attorney needs, and maybe it has it and I just never found it, but what it needs is the ability to press the button one time and have the entire text box pop up and then let you go to the next box. I feel like they just refuse to put that in these games, or I don't know how to do it. One or the other. But you spend so much time just waiting for the text to appear, and they changed the speed at which the text appears depending on who's talking. So sometimes it goes quick, and other times it's really slow. Also, I didn't really care for the jury segments at all in this series. I feel like the jury, they should have just been witnesses. I think it would have been more interesting. The jury segments always felt like, oh, you're just adding time to the case to pad it. So I didn't really care for those. But all things considered, like, the overarching story of it all is really the best part. And I'm really glad that they connected it all. When the game opened and Giselle Brett was dead, I was like, huh, okay. I thought maybe they were just going to throw it out and not try to piece it together. But then they did, and it was beautiful. And they've done this mechanic for quite a few games now, but the multiple witnesses at the stand is never really interesting because all you're really doing there is you're reading the statements and waiting to hear a reaction from someone. So there's like no gameplay involved. It's like you're just sort of sitting there and waiting for the reaction, and then the thing can continue. So that doesn't add much either, but that's not specific to this game either. That's in a lot of the modern Ace Attorneys. Yo, nice picture. I was just really impressed that they connected everything. It felt like they really didn't leave any stone unturned. If you go into this menu, by the way, this is pretty cool. I liked this. Not a lot of games have this sort of thing, but if you go into the, was it here? So if you go here, there's a section where they have rejected music from the game. So like this was going to be in the game, but they didn't use it, and they have explanations on the right here that tell you why the songs weren't used. So, like, here's the actual Great Exhibition song, right? And then here's the unused one. So there's a whole bunch of these. There's like, I think like 15 unused songs. Like, here's the, you did it, you solved the case, right? And here's the unused one. So there's almost like a whole soundtrack in here of rejected songs. Let's see. Let's find a good one. Okay, so this was like the Pursuits theme. This is pretty close to the actual one, I think. Okay, what about this one? Let's see. Court in session. Oh, here's the German song. Yeah. Okay, they had an unused version of this. Let's take a listen. I almost would have preferred this, I think. Let's see. 2 spells. Oh, they wait. Okay, they even have unused sound effects. Oh. Ooh. Oh, those are terrible. I wonder if we can find anything that's interesting in here. Dance of Deduction. Oh, that was the... Okay, the glass shattering. Susato's lines that you won't hear voiced in the game.
出ました。なるほど様。ホームズ様の名推理が。ホームズ様はあろうことかそのものを一目見るだけで全て見抜いてしまわれるのです。シャーロック・ホームズの冒険、小説で何度も読みましたとも。あの驚くべき名推理を生で聞かせていただけるなんて。ああ、まさに夢のようでございます。
Wow. That was not in the game. Oh, another Susato line. Here we go.
私はあの時ほんの少しですが法を疑ってしまったのです。正しいものが正しく裁かれないかもしれない。そんなことを考えてしまったその時点で私は法務助手として失格なのでございます。
Are you telling me that this game could have been voice acted? Like, in its entirety? Because some of these are pretty lengthy. Well, there's an unused Susato song. The truth is I had a little competition with My Bit to Compose this theme and I lost. Okay, so here's the actual Susato theme. Okay, we remember this one, right? Let's hear the unused version. No, that doesn't fit her at all, does it? I'm really curious. I kind of want to like make a playlist of all the unused music and just listen to that. All right, we all know Asogi's amazing theme. This version sounded like something you might hear at the public baths in a Ryokan hotel. Okay. Well, anyway, could spend some time going through there. That's pretty cool. I'm glad they included that. That's just kind of a neat little thing that you don't get in most games. It's got like developer commentary alongside like why it was rejected. So anyway, I think we'll call that a stream. That means I'm done with every Ace Attorney game that is out. I've done it. I've played them all. The only thing left to do now is bug Capcom about Ace Attorney 7, I guess. Cool. We finished this just in time for the weekend to end, so that was lengthy. That was fun. I'm going to upload this playthrough to YouTube. If you want to see some of my other Ace Attorney stuff, that's all already on the YouTube as well. There's a whole playlist of Ace Attorney VODs from the stream.